Okay, friends, here we are, week 1 of our video content for Scriptural Devotional. Today I'm going to be showing you a quick time-lapse video with a short tutorial at the end on colored pencil. So this is a medium that most of you, I'm sure, have done before, and it is a very simple medium to use, which is an awesome thing to start with. But one of the things I love about color is that it just brings a picture to life. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about highlight and shadow and how to really bring your picture to life simply using colored pencil. So my recommended supplies today are colored pencils and a pencil maybe, and an eraser and a sharpener. We're going to be working on page 16 of the book with the exercise called Visual Scripture. So you can turn to that now and just kind of read through it, and maybe you've already done this exercise, and if you have, you can flip to another exercise in the book and apply these same colored pencil tips that I'm going to be giving you. So let's flip to that now, and I will join you with my book. Okay, so that was a quick video of just really kind of getting to watch me work through coloring this picture with colored pencils. And you can refer to our coloring tips in this book as well, but I will just sort of talk you through a few of the different things that came to mind as I was coloring. I decided to go with like a softer, more pink palette. I knew with the sunrise, I was considering what colors were in the sunrise, so yellows and oranges, and I like the idea of pink because I imagine these to be like the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, so I knew that a softer tone would kind of blend well with this, like moving from this pink and violet to the blue that is in the mountains. So those are things to consider as you're coloring. I started with the sunshine, and what you want to think about as you're coloring is that the things that are going to be closest to your light source are going to be the lightest. So, this is not a ton of drastic highlight and shadow, but the brightest part really is in this sun right here. And then as you work farther away, that's where it's going to get darker. So you can see even in the mountains, on this left side, the blue really kind of comes in, whereas you don't see a ton of blue here. And I didn't want to do a lot of blue right behind the sun because I wanted to give the idea that the sun is kind of like drowning out even the blue and covering up the blue that is in the mountains. So I decided to, as I work farther away from the sunshine, then to add the blue and the violet and the darker tones. Same thing as you come down here with the grass. This was one of the closest things that was to the sun, so I decided to keep mostly yellows, and I came back with a little bit of the light green here, and then I worked with 2 other greens. So with colored pencil, that's a great thing to do. You know, ask yourself, okay, I want to have yellow because I want to show it brightly, but what is next to yellow on the color wheel, and what is just one shade darker? So I used like a yellow green, so something like this, and then I chose a darker green as well. And then, you know, you can even come in with a blue then as well if you don't have, you know, 20 different tones from green to blue with your colored pencils. Like these are just Crayola. So I chose the light green, or the yellow green, the green, and then the blue. And I started bringing the blue, you know, kind of down out here on the sides and down here where it's not as noticeable. But, and I also have a little bit of orange in here, and I also have just plain yellow in here as well. So this is sort of the array of tones that I use in the grass, and you know, whatever's closest, that's what's going to be mostly just yellow. And as you work away, then you would start adding these light greens, and then the regular green, and then even the darker greens into the blue down here. I did the same thing on the flowers. I wanted to really reflect this beautiful pink purple sky in the flowers. Now you could choose any color to make your flowers, but I decided to kind of mimic what's already happening in the sky. And what I love about that is it really balances like this warm tone, and you're bringing this warm tone down here as well. So, you know, you can do whatever you want, and that I'm just trying to explain why I chose this color palette as well. And you can see in the flowers I had the same idea, you know, this idea of light to dark, highlight to shadow. As you're close, you're brighter, and as you move farther away, you get darker and kind of spread into different tones. So I use yellow, I use some orange and pink, and then purple down here on the bottom. And it's, you know, that same idea. And really coloring, art in general really is all that highlight and shadow. And then when you add colors, you're asking yourself, okay, instead of moving just white to black, you're moving in a spectrum of color. So the lightest tones on the color wheel, and then, you know, as you get darker, you're kind of working around the color wheel as well. So I just want to encourage you to, as you do this exercise and as you work through the book, just give yourself freedom to really try to follow these tips and tricks, and also don't let yourself get overwhelmed if it feels like too much. Just spend a few moments just coloring. I mean, you all are capable of that. And so just enjoy your time with the Lord and really kind of camp out on His Word as you think about the truth in the Scripture that we are getting to really explore through art. So have fun this week, be encouraged, and we will see you next time.